Texas Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. You ever have those days when things just don't quite go down the way they're supposed to, right? You gotta kind of improvise all day long. That was one of those days for me. I eventually got most of it done. I'll make up the rest tomorrow. That's a good day for a beer review. That's what I say. All right, we got one here. Here it is. It's from Modern Times Beer out of San Diego, California. It's a seasonal. It's the Critical Band. That's right, Critical Band. Seasonal, this is a September to November release. Today, I believe, is the 12th of September. And this beer came out a little early. It was actually produced on August 11th is when it was canned. It has some unique stuff going on. So first of all, you've got malts. You've got two-row, Maris Otter, wheat, and golden naked oats. That's right. Those naked oats have got to be golden. So they get some nice sun. And then as far as hops go, now that's where it gets really fun because it's brewed with Denali, with Citra, Simcoe, and Centennial. Oh, I'm just not a big Centennial fan. Let's talk about that a little bit. All right, so what do these hops do? Because there's some unique hops here. Denali, one of the things that it's known for is bringing pineapple to the equation. I always like that. Next is Equinaut. Equinaut brings in things like lemon, berry, orange peel, papaya, lime, fresh peppers. Some unique stuff there, right? And then you've got Citra, of course. Many of you should know Citra. That brings in like grapefruit, melon, lime, gooseberry, passion fruit, lychee. Brings in that catty flavor. And then you've got Simcoe that brings in like passion fruit, pine, berry, earthy. You hear a theme going on here? Then Centennial. Okay. Well, why? I don't know. Brings in floral, lemon, pine. But it should be a promising beer. Now with the oats in there and everything, and they're calling this a juicy tropical, it begs the question, did they try to make something kind of like a New England IPA? We'll find out. So here we go with Critical Band. And by appearance, I would say yes. It's not got much of a head on it, and I poured fairly aggressively, but it is definitely a hazy beer. Let's get into the nose. Ooh, there's a lot going on. I hope it's just not a muddled mess. That can happen sometimes when you bring in so many hops. I think the most dominant thing right off the top is getting these citrus characteristics. I'm getting a little bit of some grapefruit. It's kind of a sweeter grapefruit, maybe more like a pink grapefruit. But I'm getting citrus. I'm getting more like an orange peel. I'm getting some pine character off of that. Yeah, I'm getting some lime type characters. I'm getting hints of tropical, but it's not like a strong tropical, but I'm getting like a hint of a peppery character, which is interesting. And I don't mean like pepper like black pepper. I meant like pepper like hot peppers. Just faintly on the background, just a little bit of a greenness to it, like vegetable green. So interesting on the scent. We're going to jump on it with a taste, though. Oh, and some melon. I got a little melon off that. Here we go. Cheers. Wow. It's good. It does seem a little muddled to me, like they may have tried too hard. It's definitely a New England IPA. I don't think that they did what a lot of places do, is add flour. I'm not getting that character on it. It's definitely just the oak. So it's a little more crisp. As opposed to being super smooth. Now this beer is 6.7% ABV. Its final gravity was 1.012, which means they attenuated it down but not super low, and it's 60 IBUs. Having said all that, it does semi-dry out on the mouth, and it definitely has a crisp character that hits the palate, and that may be due to the carbonation. I didn't see a lot of coming up, but when I swirl it just a little, I can see little bubbles rising, so there is more carbonation in there. For me, for the style, it's probably a little over-carbonated. Oh, there you go. See, I swirled it, and look what happened. We had a whole bunch come up. And these New England IPA styles are better with a low carbonation. I am going to work through this muddled mess a bit. There's a lot more tropical on the taste than there is on the nose. But they're just kind of like hints because this really is so mixed up. I get a little bit of passion fruit, a hint of some pineapple, a hint of some papaya character. Unlike all these beers we've had of late, I don't get any, there's no mango on that, there's no guava on it. You're getting grapefruit, a hint of some lemon. I'm not pulling out any orange or orange peel on this at all. But I do get a little bit of berry, and I feel like I do get a little bit of that like peppery character that I got in the nose. And we know that can happen with Equinox, so I do feel that that came through in the character. You're getting a lot of like floral characters from the hops, just a hint of pine. And as far as the backbone goes, I mean, it's just a very, very light caramel, but you're getting that character from the oats big time. You're really not getting the real feel of, you know, pulling out the 2-row Maris Otter, you know, that's just the base backbone from that. Wheat, I can see that, absolutely. So it's moderately sweet, and like I said, it kind of dries out. It's moderate dry, I would say, at this point. It's a fun little beer. I'm going to take some time with it, and I'll be back with some numbers. Taking a little time with this. Taking time is so worthwhile. It just always is. It's warmed up a bit. It's developed and changed a little bit. It's definitely not your typical New England IPA, but that's definitely kind of the direction they went. But they attenuated down. They made it just a little bit more crisp, a little bit more dry. I think they were making a beer for their audience, and I applaud them for doing that. That's that creative side. I love creativeness. In terms of how this has changed, it has. A little more of that cattiness has come out, and just a hint of like dankness now has been added into the beer. The rest still kind of pretty much hangs the same. I want to say though, actually really, I think I do now get some of the characteristics like a lychee on there as far as like tropical fruits go, which is kind of fun. So in terms of American IPAs, you know, I was leaning more towards that like 87 type score, but because that variance and some things changing and bringing more interest to the beer, I got to give them a few more points. I'm going to go with an 89 on an American IPA. Overall, it's very good. Again, I think it was just too much of a muddled mess for me. Still a lot of fun characters though. I mean, this is, make no mistake, it's an 87, but it's still a very good drinking beer, one definitely worth trying. If you like the New England IPA styles, I mean, I'm sure you're going to dig on it. Here it is again. It is the Critical Band. It's a seasonal from Modern Times Brewing out of San Diego, California. It's supposed to be around from now through maybe November. This is Kevin Clemens Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review.